Howdy, Possum Patty here at the Four Sisters Cafe, and I'm back for another episode of Hashtag Tea Tuesday. Come on along. I'm just coming in a little closer so I can share those two things with you that are in the intro, in the opening. And the first one is a Christmas gift from my son and his girlfriend, and it is a cast iron Japanese style teapot, not the kind that you put on the stove, you know, with the flame underneath, but the kind that you brew your tea in. So I love this shape. I love the color. Green's my fave. And look, it's got dragonflies on it. I love this. And then you open up the little top, and there's a basket, and you put your loose tea in the basket. I just rinsed it out so it's still a little wet. And pour the hot water in over the tea, and then you let it brew, steep, I guess. You let it steep, 3 to 5 minutes, I guess, depending on the tea and the strength that you want. It's heavy, it is cast iron, but I love it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Thank you, Jessie. Thank you, Lydia. This was my Christmas present from them. And the cup that I'm drinking out of, which still has some of that delicious tea in it, this is Canadian tea. It's like a maple blueberry flavor, of course, Canada maple, and it is so good. It has a lot of flavor to it. I didn't put any sweeteners in it because I want to taste the flavors. And this set that I'm drinking out of with the dragon is Japanese. It's hand painted in Japan. I turn the dragon around there for you. Titi's getting lovey-dovey here. Okay, isn't that gorgeous? And this is the teacup. I can't tip it though because the tea's in there, so maybe I can turn it slowly. And there's the dragon. Don't want to spill it. The dragon wings. And the handle is decorated like the scales on the dragon. There's the dragon's tail. And that is the tea. Now my uncle was in the Navy during World War II, and he actually he was stationed in Pearl Harbor when it was bombed. Yeah, but he was out on the ship in maneuvers, not in the harbor when the harbor was bombed. But he was there, and then sometime after the war he got over to Japan, and he brought that back for my auntie, and when she passed, she left it to me. And I have a set. You know what? I have a few sets of Japanese and Chinese teacups and teapots. And maybe next week or the next time I do a Tea Tuesday, I will take you on a little tour of that cabinet so you can see my little tea collection. So today I have got to get out my Tea Tuesday little golden book, which is over there on the shelf. I haven't taken it off the shelf yet. Too busy playing with my new teapot and that fancy teacup set. And I've got a few things from the sisters to journal about. Let's get to it. Well, if you're new here, welcome. And I just want to tell you that this is my little golden book, Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter's Tea Party journal that I made with rings, and I tied a bunch of rags to the rings because I love the way that looks. And the theme of this is just mad crazy with splashes of color and patterns of black and white. And I've done a few pages in here, and Lizzie Brewer inspired me to do it as a always finish journal. In other words, if you look at here, all the pages are done. It's always finished. And you just add pages as you go along. Because I want this to be nice and chunky, or as chunky as I can get it with these rings. I'm not sure how that's going to work. This is my very first ring-bound journal. And what I have been putting in here are just things that the sisters, I have 3 sisters, send me during the week or since the last time that I did a page. I think I skipped last week because I did Trash Tuesday. So these were the last pages I was working on, and with the rings it is very easy just to take the pages out to work on them. And I have this page I can put something on. And I put this that my sister sent to me. Sometimes talking to your sister is all the therapy you need. And sometimes you need therapy after talking to your sister. I thought that was so funny. And on the back, I did matte medium with a napkin. This was a napkin. And I want to make one more page. I don't know how far I'm going to get today. Because Tuesdays are my busy days. The cat sitting on my computer. No. Can't put that over there. She wants to chew on those little bits of material. So I'm going to move the camera like that. All right. I got too many things on the table again. I was painting. I was looking at rocks. I got gold wash over here. I got my glue. Move that out of the way. Got my black markers. Okay. I think what I'm going to put on this page is the first thing that I talked about with my sister. Now, my sister made, the middle sister made a big pot of beef stew and was bragging about how good it was, yum yum, but also that it cost her, I think she said $20 for the stew meat. I'm like, what? $20 for stew meat? I mean, that used to be like the cheapest cut of meat because you were going to, you know, cook it for a long time, and that would make it tender, so it really didn't matter what cut of meat you were using, and then, you know, you throw all your vegetables in. Well, anyway, yeah, she made a pot of stew, and it cost her $20 just for the beef, but she said it was Angus beef. So anyway, so then she sent a page of the cookbook. She sent me a picture of the recipe that she used. And then she sent the cover of the cookbook, and she said, oh, she's had this cookbook for years and years, and she's still using it. She sent me the picture, and I said, oh, Better Home's new cookbook. And then I sent her a picture of my cookbook, which was Better Home's new cookbook. So we compared the printing dates, and hers was 81, and I think mine was like 77. So my book was a few years older than hers. And so the next sister sent a collection of her 70s cookbooks. And I was like, I remember those. Diet for a Small Planet, Recipes for a Small Planet. And this one over here, the New York Times Natural Food Cookbook. I remember those three. These two, not so much. At one time, she was into macrobiotic cooking, and I don't know this one at all. Let's Cook It Right. But these three I remember from the 70s. So this is going to be an easy page because I did all this coloring already, and I'm just going to, well, maybe I can put one here and one here. Put that in the middle. And these are printed out from my Canon Ivy mini printer, which prints stickers, so I can just stick these down. And then I'm going to write in these little white spaces what we were doing. So this is going to be an easy page. So let me just go ahead and do that. So, yeah, which one do I want to get in first? I better get the bottom one in first. So you just peel and stick like so. And I'm going to put this one. This one's mine. And I had to laugh. They made a new edition, and they called it with the same name. I have to watch out. There's holes there. But this side, there's not. If you hear some banging on the door, that is Stinky Winky Woos begging to come in. She's my cat, my calico cat, my little Abyssinian. Her real name is Queen Nefertiti, but she's just Tiny TT usually. But she does think she's a queen. So we can't call her Queen Nefertiti. We just have to call her TT. And let's see, I'm going to put this under that pink flower there. And then I'm going to put this in the middle. I'll do a little bit of journaling and then I'll come back and show you the page. And that was quick and easy, although it took me quite a while to make this page. Draw this in and do the magic marker and to paint the flowers and leaves. But, you know, that was done ahead of time, so this went quite quickly. And I just put that this was Dee's cookbook, and it was 1981. This one was mine. It was 1977, and these were Deb's from 1970s, and she won because she had the most cookbooks from the 70s. And I just put cookbook discussion 124-23. Ooh, TT was on my seat. I should put with the sisters, but I guess that's obvious. You never know what we're going to talk about. And I'm using this 005 micron pen only because when I want the journaling to be there, but to be, you know, unobtrusive, then I will write with this very thin marker. So that page is done. That can go back into the book in a few minutes. And this one is staying as it is. So I have this page now. And don't take this as offensive, but my sister gave me the middle finger. Oh, look at that. All bandaged up. This is a picture she sent me. Oh, I felt so sorry for her. I don't know what she was doing, but her turtle bit her. She's had a turtle for years and years and years and years and years. And it is a red ear slider. Now I'm looking at an old reptile book. And I found this turtle, which is an elegant slider. But it sort of looks like a red ear slider. Looks like her turtle. You know, these are the little turtles you get, you know, in the pet store and amusement parks and, you know, the boardwalk, wherever you are. And people take them home in these cute little tiny things like this big. And then you have them for 20 years and they grow to be like this big. Yeah. So the reason they can sell these in Connecticut is that it's not native to Connecticut. So our turtle is the Eastern painted turtle, which is very similar. And what happens is people get these as pets and then release them into the wild. And they sort of take over the habitat or they infect the Eastern painted turtles. So this is our native turtle, and this is the little one that they sell as a pet, but grows to be a much larger turtle. So this isn't exactly the same turtle, but I don't know. I'm going to look around and see if I can find something. This is a North American wildlife book that, as you can see, I've been cutting up. But this has got everything in it. Plants, trees, fish, reptiles. It's got everything in here. Birds. So I did find this cute little picture of a slider. And maybe I'll use that instead of this big one. Now I'm thinking about cutting out this dark background. What do you think? Well, she went to the walk-in clinic. She thought she'd probably have to get a tetanus shot. And they did up her finger, but they wanted to put a little splint around it. And they didn't have one, so they gave her this huge bandage. And then she had to go back the next day. And they did her finger over, and it looked a lot better. But then she had to go to work. And she works in a health food store, and it's kind of like Whole Foods, but it's not Whole Foods. And yeah, she like orders things and stocks the shelf, stuff she orders. And yeah, so she said it wasn't too bad. I think the turtle belonged to her daughter, who's now grown up, married, has kids. And her turtle's name is Homer. Yeah, I believe Homer probably belonged to her daughter, I think. And she used to have iguanas, too. She had a great big iguana. Of course, she got them when they were little. And then she got another iguana, and that bit her in the face at some point. And she shipped those off to an iguana home preserve. I think she actually had to like take them to the airport, special transit, wrap them up a certain way, and ship them out. So I don't know what she's going to do with the turtle. Okay, so let's see. How do we want to do that? We want the turtle facing her finger, like that. And then I could write right up this side. I notice in this journal I'm not like, because it's just crazy pages, I'm not doing a lot of layering with backgrounds around. I'll have to go back and look. I don't know, I'm just kind of putting the pictures like right down on the page like that. And then, I don't know if that's going to stick to that maybe. Journaling, not right on the page. This is going to have to get glued down though. And then I will journal. Ooh, I grabbed the wrong glue. Oops. That's the glue I added water to. So it's real mushy. It's all good. It's all good. Put them right there, the tip of her finger. Just like that. All right, I'm going to journal. I'll be right back. So all I did was a little bit of journaling on the side. Put the date. Homer bites Debbie, and she has to go to urgent care to get a shot and some antibiotics. I've got the picture of her finger. Hope that stays down. It doesn't seem to want to stick to that matte medium. And the little red air slider there. Okay. Yeah, you might have noticed on this page that there's my cookbook and 2 sisters, but there's 4 sisters, right? 4 Sisters Cafe. Where's the other sister's cookbook? The other sister's not much of a cook. No, I don't even know if she has a cookbook. Or if she has a cookbook, she probably doesn't know where it is. She's not much of a cook at all. I don't use my cookbook that much. I will for baking, because you have to be very precise with baking, but not a lot of cooking. I probably used it a lot when I first got it, you know, like 50 years ago. And so I don't really have to refer to it too much anymore. Just like I said, for baking, because measurements have to be pretty precise when you're doing your baking. Now, I have some more things I want to put in here. I might not get to all of them right now, but I want to start another page. I printed out a picture of my new teapot. Ooh, I got that glue everywhere. My new teapot and my dragon teacup. And I'm thinking over in my box of Chinese ephemera for my Asian glue book, I have some dragons. And that would be really cool to do a teacup shape page, put a dragon maybe on the back of it or something, and then journal on one side. And then I have a picture of palm trees with the sun rising over the ocean, Doesn't that look special? Because one sister got to go to South Carolina for a break for a couple of days. So even though she wasn't in on the cookbook discussion, she was in South Carolina having a nice time. So yeah, that's where she was. Let's see. All right, so what I'm going to do is leave this paper out maybe so I can mark the holes and see if I can come up with a teacup shape. I am using this Grumbasher mixed media 98-pound medium texture paper for wet or dry, because I am doing wet or dry, wet and dry. And instead of going this way with the page like I did for this one, I'm going this way. And it's the same size as this, so I marked the holes. So I can go ahead and put this back in here. And I know I haven't done that much, but it's already getting late because Tuesday's a busy day. And I started kind of late today, and then I was playing with my new teapot. So let me just see if I can start something, and then I may come back. Wish I could work on this tomorrow, even though it's Wednesday, right? Just because it's Tea Tuesday doesn't mean I can't continue to work on it tomorrow. Okay, now do I want the handle going this way or this way? Be interesting to have it going this way, right? Now I'm not trying to draw the the teacup that I used. I'm just drawing a very simple teacup shape. And it probably will come out wonky, but that's okay. Wonky is good. Now, is this going to be too big? Let's test it out. See, the handle's going to stick out too far. So maybe I should mark it, right? So I can't go past like about there. So what I'm going to have to do is, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to get this done. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it in this line here. Oh, I got to bring it in more. Like that. Anyway, this gives you an idea of what I'm going to do. So this will be where the holes are, and I'm going to leave this to attach it in the book. I could move the teacup way over here. Oh, here comes Titi. I know it's getting late. She's looking for her attention. I'll probably come way over here with the teacup like that. Shift the whole thing over to here, and then I'll have room for a handle over here. And then I'm going to paint it crazy, and I'm going to go look for a picture of a dragon. I'm just going to put a dragon on there. Or maybe I'll do this black and white over here, and I'll paint the cup crazy, put a dragon on it, and on one side, and then on the other side I'll put this and do my journaling. Alright, so I'll see you tomorrow, and I have to do this page and some palm trees yet. So before I do my Watercolor Wednesday work, I am going to do another page in my Mad Hatter's Tea Party. So thanks for coming along today, and happy junk journaling, everybody. Bye-bye.